Alright people, I gotta go to work soon, so I ain't gonna make this video too long. But I just want to talk about something very interesting that I found in an interview that I watched this past week. Now it is from Isaiah Robin. He's a Christian, he's non-denominational, I believe. But point I'm getting at is he was talking with this bishop, or let me just say gentleman. I believe he called him a bishop, but this gentleman, and I don't know his name or anything of that sort. Don't know his credentials or anything, so I can't really say too much about him. But one thing in particular that they talked about that that I picked up on was they were talking about the early church fathers and how they had it's a little process, 3-year process before you can get into the church and everything of that sort. But then they talked about how they didn't even call you a Christian; they called you a catacomb.
Walk in the supernatural,
right?
They want this generic Christianity that Jesus doesn't need to be there. You don't need to live supernaturally, and you're just fine because you prayed a prayer,
right?
But the sinner's prayer didn't occur till the 1700s, right?
Right.
And on top of that, the early church fathers, we read about the first 300 years of the church.
Yep.
To be a Christian, they tested you for 3 years before they let you in the church.
Catechumen stage.
That's right. That's right. They didn't even call you a Christian.
Right.
They called you a catechumen. Right.
But all that started to relate to me in my memory because I studied the occult. I studied it so much that on Morals and Dogma, page 511, I was able to remember that it says this: in the early days of Christianity, there was an initiation like those of the pagans. Initiation process? Wait, didn't Jesus say not to swear no oath? Let it be yea or nay, and that's it, nothing more? So why an initiation process? But let's continue though. Persons were admitted on special conditions only to arrive at a complete knowledge of the doctrine. This don't sound like Jesus Christ. It just doesn't. But let me continue. They had to pass 3 degrees of instruction. The initiates were consequently divided into 3 classes. The first, auditors. The second, catacombs, as Isaiah Robin and this other gentleman has mentioned. And the third, the faithful. The auditors were a sort of novices who were prepared by certain ceremonies and certain instruction to receive the dogmas of Christianity. A portion of these dogmas was made known to the catacombs. A portion of this dogmas was made known to the Jesus don't work that way. Yahweh, Yeshua don't work that way. The God of the Bible don't work that way. Now, come on now, people. We have to understand what's really about to take place with what's about to be said right now. This ain't true Christianity that he talking about, nor is it true Christianity that Isaiah Robin and his other gentlemen is talking about. But let's continue though. It says this: a portion of these dogmas was made known to the catacombs, who after a particular purification received baptism or the initiation of theogenesis, divine generation. But in the grand mysteries of that religion, the incarnation, nativity, passion, and resurrection of Christ. None were initiated but the faithful. These doctrines and the celebration of the holy sacraments, particularly the Eucharist, were kept with profound secrecy. So the Eucharist wasn't this public, far and abroad type thing. It was kept with profound secrecy by a select few. These mysteries were divided into 2 parts. The first styled the Mass of the Catacombs, the second the Mass of the Faithful. The celebration of the mysteries of Mithras was also styled a Mass, and the ceremonies used were the same. There were found all of the sacraments of the Catholic Church, even the breath of confirmation. So what it's telling us is, unlike what Isaiah Robin is telling us, this is not the Roman Catholic Church. This is Catholicism. Because after the apostles died and their apostles died, they had false Christians during their time, but it really sprung up during the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd century where you have the Gnostics. It even talks about the Gnostics and people who have the secret mysteries in here. So I'm just relaying this message to you, Isaiah Robin, and say that the whole catacomb thing and, returning to that type of Christianity ain't what I'm returning to. And I don't think anybody should return to that, because the Bible says in the New Testament, no initiation process, no oath should be sworn. We shouldn't have to do any of these things that Albert Pike is telling us to do in his Morals and Dogma book, because he's telling us that this is what they practice. But look here, there's an exoteric and then there's an esoteric. I don't want you to think that I'm providing you with false information, even though it's coming from a Kabbalist like Albert Pike. I want to show you how he knew what he was talking about. But let me continue real quick. The priest of Mithras promised to initiate deliverance from sin. The Catholic Church does that by means of confession and baptism and a future life of happiness or misery. He celebrated the oblation of bread, image of the resurrection, the baptism of newly born children, extreme unction, confession of sins, all that the Catholic Church does. All belong to the Mithraic rites. The candidate was purified by a species of baptism, a mark was impressed upon his forehead, and he offered bread and water, pronouncing certain mysterious words. Now look here, you said that this is not the Roman Catholic Church, but look here. This is the Catholicism that those Christians accepted during that time. And then that's what Roman Catholicism, which is the Roman Empire, accepted as well. So look here, paganism was dying during that time because Christianity, people were getting slaughtered by the thousands. And every time that happened, a lot of people became a Christian because of that, because they realized that it's something about this message. It's something about this man that they're talking about that I just can't grasp, and I need to grasp it a lot more than I am at this point. So the point I'm getting at here is, people, when you are killing God's people and more people are popping up, that's just not going to win you anything. So the devil, being devil as an advocate at the moment, had to come up with a new plan. And what was his plan going to be? Well, if I can't take them out just with my own people, we have to do an infiltration on their sect and on their group. And we have to infiltrate the one true message and the one true gospel, the one true religion. Islam and Hindu, those are the pagan mysteries. Those don't need to be infiltrated. So since Satan and his agencies infiltrated God's church, now look here, you got paganism mixed with Christianity. And you had that for a very long time. Even with these church fathers, not to say all the church fathers are bad, you had a few of them that talked and walked the walk, but then also you had people like Origen, Eusebius, Saint Cyril, Saint Augustine, Saint Ambrose, all these other people really wasn't saints at all. But let me continue though real quick. Now I just want to show you something. I'm going to just read you this real quick. Turner Lewin tells us that the Valentinians, the most celebrated of all the Gnostic schools, imitated or rather perverted the mysteries of Eleusis. Irenaeus informs us in several curious chapters of the mysteries practiced by the Macrosians, and Origen gives us much information as to the mysteries of the Orphites. And there is no doubt that all the Gnostic sects had mysteries and initiation. They all claim to possess a secret doctrine coming to them directly from Jesus Christ. But peep this, Isaiah Robin, and peep this, bishop or gentleman, whichever your name is. They claimed to possess a secret doctrine coming to them directly from Jesus Christ, but different from that of the Gospels and Epistles, and to them superior to those communications. Come on now, well, peep this though. Which in their eyes were merely exoteric. So the Gospels and Epistles were the exoteric. But watch this though. The secret doctrine they did not communicate to everyone, and among the extensive sect of the Basilidians, hardly 1 in 1,000 knew it, as we learned from Irenaeus. Now look here, he goes along to talk about different saints. He talks about the Clemens, Bishop of Alexandria. Then after you got Origen, I already mentioned him. Then after, by the way, Origen had the Arian belief. Arian belief was that Jesus was not divine. You can't be a Christian and accept that. We believe he was man and divine at the same time. Now look here, it talks about Archelaus, Bishop of Cascara, Cyril, Bishop of Jerusalem, Saint Basil, the great Bishop of Caesarea, Saint Gregory Nazianzen, Bishop of Constantinople, Saint Ambrose, Archbishop of Milan, Saint Augustine, Bishop of Hippo. Saint Chrysostom and Saint Augustine speak of initiation more than 50 times. Saint Ambrose writes to those who are initiated, and initiation was not merely baptism or admission into the church, but it referred to the initiation into the mysteries. To the baptized and initiated, the mysteries of religion were unveiled, and they were kept secret from the catacombs. Did you just peep that, Isaiah? Let me read that for you again. St. Chrysostom and St. Augustine speak of initiation more than 50 times, and St. Ambrose writes to those who are initiated, and initiation was not merely baptism or administration into the church, but it was referred to the initiation into the mysteries. To the baptized and initiated, the mysteries of religion were unveiled, and they were kept secret from the catacombs, who were permitted to hear the scriptures, read, and the ordinary discourses delivered in which the mysteries. So as we can see, Isaiah Robin, from just this one source, now look here, I can go to this book. I got this book. I got this book that I'm tackling down, and it talks thoroughly about Mithraism and how it's sun worship and what they did with the secrecy of the mysteries and everything of that sort. But the point I'm getting at is the ordinals, the catacombs, and this faithful stuff, none of that stuff is true Christianity. Because it says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. Not through these initiation processes that these people are trying to put people through. Come on now. Now look here. I'm not trying to do this in a way to try to like bash Isaiah Robin or anybody who has this belief. What I'm simply coming out there to do is set the record straight on this situation, because people need to understand that that's not true Christianity. Roman Catholicism isn't true Christianity, nor what most of those early church fathers were doing. And I'm not attacking all of them, but the ones that you can clearly see that I named, if they belong in that church father group, then as you can see, they really didn't practice true Christianity, because they had the Gospels and epistles as their exoteric, and they also, on the other hand, had the esoteric belief, which is the pagan mysteries of Babylon, Egypt, India, and all that other stuff. So look here, I just want to come and bring this information to you. Hopefully you're able to come across this video, Isaiah Robin. Maybe you can even, talk to me about it one-on-one, make a video, whatever situation may be. I just want to present you with this information that I've studied and found out. And I also want to let the audience and the public know as well, because like I said, I'm not attacking any Roman Catholic. I believe that God is going to call his people out of Babylon, wherever they may be. But also another thing is this though, just because you call yourself a Christian, as Isaiah Robin says this all the time, doesn't mean you're truly a Christian. But then not just that, just because you claim to know about the one true God doesn't mean you really know the one true God. Just because you claim to know history don't mean you really know history, until you actually really dig deep into what the history books say. But with saying that, I want to bring you this information. Hopefully you're able to come across this video, Isaiah Robin. Love your music. I love what you're doing. And you have really helped spark that interest in, wanting to, do YouTube and actually try to like spread the gospel in a different type of way and manner and everything like that, but also doing it for the glory of God and making sure it sticks within, the premises of, Christianity, and it's not, going too secular or worldly. But, yeah, I just wanted to say that also, I just don't want to make it seem like a whole debunking or refuting what you're saying. I love your music. I love what you're doing. I really wish that one day I could even meet you, even go to one of your concerts, everything of that sort, So with saying that, love you guys. Be safe. Give me a word. Jesus is coming, people.